Yes, everyone. I don't know why I just cut straight to that. Yes, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. What's going on? Stephen Howson. Here we go. It is time. Manchester United are acting like a big club. We are acting like this transfer window actually matters. We are acting like we actually care what's going on with the football club. It is, like, listen, I don't know how many times I sit here all the way through a transfer window, all the way to the absolute death of a transfer window. Like, they do know we can sign people from the 1st of June, right? This year, 1st of June rolls by, pow, Cunha, done, announced on the 1st of June. All right, that's different. Fair play. 2nd of June rolls by, Manchester United have basically done another deal. Excuse me, I'm not comfortable with this level of competency from Manchester United board. What is going on? Where has this come from? So in case you've been under a rock for the last hour or so since this broke, I was trying to put Blake in bed, and then I had to eat my tea, and then I had to come here and do this. This has well messed up my evening plans. I was going to just watch telly and absolutely veg out. But no, here we are, talking about United doing the damn thing. The correct thing. This is different. I'm not used to it. So we need to talk about it. So what has gone on then? Why is everyone all excitable and giddy and that? So, United coming out swinging. Transfer window has barely peaked open, and United have already basically notched up 2 major moves. Matheus Cunha, and now seemingly Brian Mbeumo is on the brink. So there hasn't been this kind of early decisive action for years. And it's the sort of thing that we just didn't have the faith in this football club to be able to deliver, did we? You know, after the disaster of last season, United needed a statement, and they are moving like a team that needs a statement. And I'll be honest with you, this isn't the end of the news tonight. There's other stuff that's come out tonight, but I'll get round to that at the end. It's a big show of intent. United was embarrassing last season in multiple reasons and multiple ways, and there was a lot of things that the likes of Jim Ratcliffe have oversaw in terms of the way the staff have been dealt with, things about like, you know, tickets for cup finals. There's all sorts of things that has been embarrassing from the club's point of view. But this, getting deals done this early, acting like a big club, and the fact that Mbeumo favours us over the other teams. Spurs were sniffing around. Newcastle seemed like the obvious choice, and I actually thought he was going to go Newcastle. Nay, but this morning we did a video where we was like, I think United are going to start looking at Tyler Diblin, according to one report, because Mbeumo might be going elsewhere. Did Brian Mbeumo go elsewhere? No, supposedly. He's like, actually, fancy a bit of United, actually, lads. What? Like, where's this come from? Unprecedented levels of competency from Manchester United board. Mental. So, yeah, I mean, and this proves it. United have gone head-to-head with a team that's got Champions League football this year, and Ornstein's dropped this report. He has decided he wants to join Manchester United, and he had other options. 20 goals, 8 assists, massive hot commodity, wants to come to United. United have got no European football to offer. Wages will be cut 25% because of the Champions League stuff. Still choosing us. It's a statement of United's enduring pull, if nothing else. Even on the back of our worst ever season, people are going, I'll tell you what, I would rather do this then have to live in Newcastle. And I like that. Oh, by the way, I had a Newcastle fan in my chat earlier. Let me get the comment up, because I had to screenshot it. It was so daft. So this is in relation to us selling Bruno to a Saudi club. Remember when all the teams wanted Newcastle to be investigated for selling St. Maxim? No word of this club offloading a player to Saudi. Tut tut, hypocrites. As if to illustrate the level of absolute genius we're dealing with here in the Newcastle fan base. You absolute fuckwit. The reason people were trying to investigate Newcastle over selling a player to a Saudi club was because Newcastle and all of the Saudi clubs are owned by the same people. You absolute sausage. If we'd have sold Bruno to Nice for 200 million, do you think people would be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Jesus. Anyway, and someone's put £150 million sale of Bruno confirmed. Now, I'll get to that, because that is absolutely something that we probably need to be talking about and thinking about. But yeah, I think this thing, Mbeumo thing, isn't happening in isolation. United have clearly identified our targets prior to the end of the season. We are moving quickly on those targets. We seem determined to avoid the sagas, the very public sagas that we've had before. We seem to be trying to avoid speculative gambles. We have, by all intents and purposes, just signed 2 Premier League proven players in 2 days. That's game-changing. And not only that, we might be offloading Rasmus Højlund. If I didn't have an early start tomorrow, I'd be drinking. What a day this is. Urgency, conviction, and moving. You know, there's talk that Emi Martinez wants to come and join us. There's talk that Onana's going down the road. There's talk that Rasmus Højlund is going into Milan. This is what happens when you get competent people in place. We are moving like we actually know what we're doing. Steve with the super chat there says, no concern that we have fired 2 barrels and still no number 9. No, not necessarily, because I think that the way we're moving, you can't dictate the order that the deals happen and get signed off. I absolutely, with my entire heart, believe that we are actually working on a number 9 option, if not multiple number 9 options. Maybe one of them was Delap and we've been pied. You know, I think that's valid. You know, let's be honest with ourselves, we have been pied on Delap. Let's not pretend we haven't. But I think the way things are going, I think that we'll absolutely be working on those options. I did have a video in the pipeline, like what's going on with Gyökeres, because not necessarily that I think something is going to happen with him and United. It's more a case of like a very global, why is nobody signing this absolute goal machine from across Europe? But then I saw a report earlier which said that Atletico Madrid have made him their number 1 target. And you're like, yep, that stacks. That absolutely stacks. But yeah, I feel confident in this window. I feel like we're acting like a big club. I feel like we know what we're about to do. I don't think like June the 1st happened and Woodward and Matt Judge opened their laptops and went, right then, what are we doing? Because that's what it feels like. And I seen that interview with that Keane lad on the overlap where he was basically like, yeah, that's kind of how it went down. Shit show. Absolute shambles it's been. Absolute shambles. So, for those unaware, what's Mbeumo going to bring? Well, his attacking output exploded last season in a manner that we've never really seen from him. 20 goals, one of the most productive players in the Premier League last season. He addresses a need for goals, Premier League goals. He's probably going to line up on the right-hand side, I presume in that right side forward slot. What does it mean for Ahmad? I think it means Ahmad's playing right wing back, lads. And I don't think that's a negative. I think the only negative is that those two between them barely come up to 10 feet. That's a bit of a problem. But yeah, apart from that, 2 real good players. I'm looking forward to how they interlink. That'd be nice to see. There shouldn't be much of an adjustment period. He's been tormenting Premier League defenders all season. I think he'll continue to do that. His work rate off the ball, his pressing, his tracking back makes him a big asset. Like, it won't look out of place if Ahmad ends up higher than him and he goes back and tracks, but I don't think it'll look mad. I think it'll be absolutely fine. Opposition fullbacks won't be able to cheat inside us against anymore. He'll absolutely punish them. And like I said, yeah, I think by the sounds of it, they're now going to. I think they're now going to try and do the deal with Brentford, but I'm pretty sure this is a foregone conclusion. What does it mean for the rest of the team? Well, like I said, today we saw news coming out that Rasmus Højlund could be on his bike. I can't tell you how happy that makes me, to be honest with you. Like, I think he's awful. I think his race is run at United and he needs to be moved on. I think this signals that we mean business. I really think it does. I really think it does. 2 players, 2 days. What's tomorrow going to bring? Yeah. I'm going to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Bilal, cheers for the super chats, but I won't be answering any of them. You need help, my mate. Josh says, all for this age and profile of signing Prem ready, and by the time they're aging, the likes of JJ, Gabriel, Ibrahimov, etc. should be first team ready. I think we're going to see some of them on the tour. It's too early for them to be thinking about first team football then. Scon says Donnarumma next. I'm hoping that's in relation to the chat we had earlier where someone was like, I think United should go for Donnarumma. Which, you know, this afternoon, that was such an early call on a Monday to be that drunk. But okay, that's fine. Simon Clip said we should sell Bruno now and bring in 2 midfielders. That lifts the ceiling of the team massively. I'm not joking. We could actually finish top 8 next season. I really thought we were on course for that anyway. The no European football thing, I can't tell you how big a deal that is and how important that's going to be for us. Like, I really, really think United will benefit enormously from that. Absolutely massively from that. And I think if they can get the profile of signing right, I do, like, if we get a goal scorer now, we've added 40 goals to our front line, more or less. If you can get a striker in here as well, you know, obviously you're going to have to offload Garnacho. I've seen a lot of, there's a comment here I just saw, the chat's going a bit quick, so let me try and find that. I just spotted it there. Step says, you got to think Mitrovic is an agent plant for an Everton move. I've seen Mitrovic's name a lot today, and there's been a few comments about Mitrovic. Has there been some news about something that I haven't spotted? I know he scored a lot of goals in Saudi, but I don't know what that translates to. I really don't. I don't know what that means. Ashley says, really liking the look of Kone in midfield, which gives us more options. Also getting rid of Højlund and bringing in a striker. With Cheeto as backup sounds good to me. I think you could still make a case for a couple of strikers, to be honest. Notch says, Al Hilal are prepared to offer Mitrovic for 40 million or a loan deal. Wait, what? Really? 40 million seems a lot, though, doesn't it? For a player that, I mean, you never know. He might just be chilling. That year in Saudi might have, like, rejuvenated him. All that sun. Interesting. Sub says, you told us how United hierarchy treated Hakimi, and now it feels like Brado, Wilcox, Ruben know how to pitch the right thing to players with respect. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And, you know, having seen how Hakimi's career's gone since then, it was a cock-up in the first place. Anyway, I always liked Hakimi. But, like, what he's done since has been an absolute disgrace, hasn't it? It's been mental. Any idea why Hargreaves was in Naples last week? No. Hopefully trying to sell him Garnacho or something. Yeah. SK says, F all peeps saying we can't pull players. Brian and Cunha, 2 out of 3 targets. Fingers crossed on Gaio. I think that means Gyökeres next. Brian feels more direct and simple than tricky. Yeah, I agree. Brian says Rashford for a Ter Stegen swaps. That could work. Yeah, that could work. I will do a video towards the back end of this week on goalkeepers. I think a goalkeeper shortlist is much needed for sure. Malahar says, how do I think Cobby will fit in? I think he might go, Cobby. I think he might. I wouldn't be surprised to see Onana, Højlund, Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, and Mainu go. And if Bruno goes as well, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of players you've got to replace, but it's also a hell of a lot of cash that's just come through the door. Adam Barbatov says, I believe no Champions League is good for us. I do and I don't. I don't think being out of the Champions League is where you want to be as a club, but we clearly weren't good enough to be in the Champions League, and I'm taking the positive of us not having to deal with Champions League next season. It isn't a positive. I'm taking it as a positive. G-Bag says, deal agreed for Muller. That's got Woodward written all over it, hasn't it, that? T-Mill says, you missed my super chat. I've not got through them all yet. Calm yourself. Tom says, any chance we have an entirely new starting 11 next season? I very much doubt that. The defence is pretty sorted, to be honest. I think they'll be okay. Onana needs to go next. See, on the Onana thing, a lot of you was kicking off about my use of the save percentage thing earlier. Now, United's expected goals against is actually a lot higher than our actual goals against as well. Onana's done a lot more in terms of shot stopping than he is meant to have done. From a pure statistics point of view, I'm willing to admit he has not had a good season. And I'm not pretending he's had a good season, but I think that it's being over-egged how bad he's been this season. I really do think he has. The one of PP says, no more Hollywood United with big signings. Being Brighton United is the way to go. We need good buys, good players, and good prices for these players. I agree. T-Mill says, we're still a huge club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. We still have that pull to get players, buzzing for Mbeumo and Cunha. I think that's an incredible start to a transfer window. Cavani says, with all do a possible goalkeeper list. Yep, that's planned for the end of the week. Jay says, where do I think Bruno plays if he sticks about? I think he can only play deeper, and I don't think, again, he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit what we're trying to do. He's just sort of been shunted into a position, hasn't he? What's my ideal realistic 11 come August? Fucking hell, I can't. Mate, we are 2 days into the window. We've signed 2 players. I can't give you that. I'll have a look into the goalkeeper. If I do that now, it changes by July and it changes again by August, I reckon. Dan says Woodward would be signing Modric and Muller right now. I think you're right. Madison says, now go get your main midfielder with a Vitinha profile. Well, my next video, already fucking scheduled right in here, it is ready to go. How to replace Bruno. And I sort of touched on it today that it's not just about replacing Bruno. It's a little bit deeper than that. I mean, I know, smash the likes and I can see 518 likes. Give me 1,000 likes right now and I'll nudge it forward an hour. Give me 2,000 likes right now and I'll fucking drop it tonight. No, actually, I'm not dropping it tonight. I'm dropping it tomorrow. But give me 5,000 likes right now and I'll drop it tonight. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because there's 3 players, and I don't think you'll fucking guess one of the players that's on that 3 target shortlist. And it's very realistic, and it's in the profile. One's Premier League, one's been playing in France this season, the other one's been playing in Italy. I don't think you'll fucking get that. I really don't. There's nearly 7,000 people watching. It's planned for a 10 o'clock release. I'll make it 9. We get to 2,500, I'll make it fucking 8 or 7. Yeah, we get over 5,000, I'll drop it tonight. But it needs to be over 5,000 next 10 minutes. So hit that fucking button. Is it Scholes, Carrick and Javi? Nailed it. Edison, Shirky, no. Uar, no. Fucking hell, what year is it? SK says, need to be highlighted how tough this summer is. Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle and Saudis are poaching. Onana hasn't been that good. I'm not saying he's been good. I'm just saying he's not been that bad. Humland, no. Is it Pogba? It is not. It's not Wharton either. Definitely asking Carrick for a few games. Could Bruno be a false 9? I think he could be a false 9, yeah, for sure. Anderson, no. Stoger, Elfatore. Oh, Elfa, the worst player I've ever seen in a United shirt. Yeah. Jesus Christ, yeah. Baleba is a shout. No, it's not Baleba. It's not Sol Niguez either. I know. Just for old time's sake, I was thinking about throwing it back in there. I'm actually impressed that there's been Andre. No, there's so many shouts. Is there anyone South American? No. Schneider and Gaitan. Take me back. No South American. Not Gibbs White. Elliot Anderson, no. Joe Gomez, Frendrup and Chevalier, no. Obertan, no. Goncalves, no. So Goncalves obviously has been linked today. I'm going to do a scout report on him. Milinkovic-Savic, no. There's so many guesses here. Like, I haven't actually seen McAtee, no. Angelo Stiller, no. Strutman, Schweinsteiger, Angel Gomez. No, I'm not going to give nationalities away because it will. Rabiot, no. It's fair play. There's genuinely been. I haven't actually seen it. I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure no one's actually nailed it. This is impressive. Sanderberg, no. If I've actually gone and done this here where none of you see any of these three fucking signings coming. Oh, by the way, I've just seen a comment on a video. We did one of the scout reports that we did. I think it was 18 months ago. It might have just been a year ago. Was a young winger by the name of Desiree Doué. Some of these scout reports that we do, they're fucking good, you know. We talked about Retegui when he was at Tigre. He's just gone and fucking absolutely smash Eto'd up Serie A. We talked about Desiree Doué. Some of the comments are like, this guy's shit, he's never going to do anything. Mastantuono? No, it's not Mastantuono. We've already done that. I have done scout reports on these guys in the past, but not recently. No, do you know what? Genuinely, there's no one that I'm seeing here. Tyler Adams, Thuram, no. Lamine Kamara, no. Javi Simons, no. Anguissa, no. Edison, no. Checker, no. Wow. I'm actually quite impressed. Stiller, Humland, Pavlovic, no. Reyners, no. Ander Herrera, no. Wow. Wharton, no. Carlos Valderrama. João Gomez, Paul Scholes, Pedro Goncalves. No. So, no, I did the video and then I saw we were linked with him today. Now, in Pedro Goncalves, what I will say is, from a statistical point of view, and the fact he's coming from Sporting, it's like a fucking Football Manager regen of Bruno, isn't it? Now, not watched him close enough to see if he is a regen of Bruno, but I will be doing a scout report on him because he was linked today. If you was going to go, how do I get a Bruno Fernandes? That guy's Bruno Fernandes. He's like a volume through ball merchant, like creates chances. He doesn't drive with the ball. He's quite good in terms of pressing. He is a Bruno regen, but he's not on my little 3-person shortlist. Morgan Rogers, no. Oh, someone has got one of the players. Someone, Tomo, has got one. He's put 2 names in, one of the players. Amadou Onana is not one of the names. No, I do reference him in that. Diblin, Bellingham, nope. Enzo Lafine, nope. Fermin Lopez, nope. I'm actually impressed I'm impressed at the range of names that have been suggested in it. That's interesting. Ruben Neves. Oh, I'd have done unspeakable things to get a Ruben Neves in a United shirt. I really would have done. No, this is very interesting. I'm just trying to read. Gareth Bale. It is not Gareth Bale. Wow. Joe Bellingham. It is not Joe Bellingham. Locatelli or Kefren. Thuram, nope. Enzo, nope. MK655 says, what are we guessing? So I've got a video coming out in the morning. If we get another 3,000 likes, so we're not going to get that, are we? But we get another few thousand likes, I'll drop it tonight and I'll save you all the fucking drama, because I have got another video scheduled up that I can drop tomorrow. That's on Jim Twaits. Probably doesn't do the same numbers. Ollie Watkins, it is not Ollie Watkins. The chat's going now far too fast for me to read. Remy Moses, no. James Milner, no. Tielemans, no. There's obviously quite a lot of people fucking about in the chat. Tonali, no. I'm just trying to pick out random, like, as you can see, it's not JJ Okocha either, no. I believe TalkSport today did a thing saying Beckham wasn't all that, and he was Europa Conference level. Some things just make you angry. You know what I mean? Donnarumma looking for a new club. Is he, or is he looking for a new deal? It's defo Ravel Morrison. It's not. Charlie says, totally related, but the way you've set up Stretford Paddock has been a huge inspiration to me with my own business. I just had our 4th birthday. I want to say thanks. Oh, nice one, mate. Well done. Could Xerxes work as a 9 with runners beyond him? Yes, I do believe he could. Villa need cash. Oh, Sidemen clips. You are in the ballpark, because it'd be interesting to see. I'm gonna give you one of the names, because Villa needing cash is absolutely one of the reasons for one of the players that I went with. And Amadou Onana was one that's been catching my eye. But do you know, as I went and watched more and more of Amadou Onana, I went, look, I don't dislike him. I actually do like him, and I think he's a brilliant player, and I think he's one of the reasons why they've been as good as they've been. But actually, Boubacar Kamara, I think, genuinely works. I think what Boubacar Kamara does is very much a modern-day version of what Michael Carrick offered. Smaller package, probably more dynamic package, but that sort of unseen work. As I'm watching Onana, I'm noticing Kamara, and I'm going, no. Alongside like an Agate, no, this is what we need, man. This is what we need. Now, I don't know if he's gettable. And, like, it's my free targets. It's not free players that United are linked with and here's me evaluating them. It's me plucked out free targets and went, no, these are 3 players and here's why I think they're what United need. I'll let you know. Kamara is one of them. And the reason, very tactically thinking, I think Kamara alongside Ugarte, if you go with very offensive wing-backs, which Dorgu and Ahmad would be, you have your back 3, you have these 2 doing a lot of work, and then I think that works. And I think Boubacar Kamara would be absolutely sensational in one of those positions. I do. I think he'd be fantastic. And I would love to see him in a United shirt. I think he's good enough. One second. With Ericsson going, potentially Casemiro and Mainu going, how many midfield options do we have? Not as many as you would want. John James says Camavinga. I think people are still guessing, aren't they? I'm not going to give you the other 2 because I'm not going to ruin that video. You have to have a little bit of surprise, otherwise you're not watching a fucking video, are you? But yeah, I'll give you the clue that Kamara's in there as one of them. Weirdly, I actually think Kamara's probably the worst footballer out of the 3, but I still think that's it. SK says Kamara was wanted by bloody Ralph. He was a bit raw, but he does a lot of work. I didn't know he was wanted by Ralph. That's interesting. Tchouameni. Tchouameni gets referenced a lot in that video for several reasons. NR13 says, what's your training routine at the moment? Genuinely, probably needs to be a entirely separate video. My training routine at the moment, there's a reason that you don't see me making videos in my office a hell of a lot. My training has become a bit of a priority at the moment, and I don't want to murder this video by talking exclusively about my training program. I do mobility in the morning. I do a fasted walk, which I've developed now into being with a 30-pound weight vest every morning. Monday is leg day, weights, followed by a run. Tuesday is it's mobility and a walk every single morning, fasted. Tuesday's like tactical strength. And then I do a session. I've just started going to Urban Reform in Piccadilly. I didn't realise it's like a world-class, and I mean world-class, High Rocks gym. I've been there like 3 weeks in the WhatsApp group, and all I'm seeing is like podium finishes and wins of like 52-minute High Rockses and shit like that. It's world-class High Rocks gym. You know, whether it was Berlin, Riga, Cardiff this weekend, the people just obliterating, men, women, all different ages, obliterating it. So I didn't realise that when I joined. I joined because it was convenient, but I'm doing 2 sessions a week with them guys. So I do. So Tuesday is, I'm not doing this tomorrow because I'm in London, but tactical strength, followed by a High Rocks session in the evening, and it's been kicking my ass. Really enjoying it though. Wednesday is my endurance day, so again, mobility and my walk in the morning, and then it's either 20-30k hike, 30-40k on the bike, or my third option for a Wednesday is a weighted sort of fan dance sort of simulation. Mam Tour's not too far away from us. If you do 2 loops of Mam Tour all the way around clockwise and then anti-clockwise, or actually it's anti-clockwise and then clockwise, it comes to about 25-26k, and it's similar to the fan dance, so I'm calling it Fan Tour, and I'm doing it with weight. Once the lads start pre-season, I'll be doing an extra session and basically mimicking the High Rock session that the lads do in pre-season. I'll be doing it with them. Thursday is my hypertrophy day, so that's the gym muscles like bench press, bent over rows, shoulders, pull-ups, triceps, biceps, cable crossovers, that sort of stuff, and another 5k run. Friday's a busy day. Friday is a swim instead of a walk, and then deadlifts, and then I go to the track at the Etihad after we do the brew. So we do the brew, and then I go to the track at the Etihad. Saturday is a bit of SAQ, so speed, agility, quickness, fast feet, ladder work, and a little bit in the gym. And then Sunday is like a whole new thing which I've just started, which is like a CrossFit operator WOD. So things like MUFC, basically a 45-minute session of pain, but with like military operator tactical fitness style. So like MUFC, basically CrossFit WODs that are like MUFC is the only way I can describe them. So loads of different, I've got like 12 different ones like that. They're called like War and Breacher and shit like that. And I will film some of these and I'll stick them on my Instagram if you're interested. But yeah, for an example, the grinder is 10 rounds for time of 5 pull-ups, 10 press-ups, 15 squats, and then 5 100-meter sled pushes, and then maximum amount of pull-ups that you can do in 5 minutes. Assault is 15 minutes AMRAP, 5 pull-ups, 10 kettlebell snatches, 15 wall balls, and then 3 rounds of a 200-meter run, 20 push press, 20 sit-ups, 10 burpees. Shit like that. The basics, 1.5 miles, 50 bench press at body weight, 2k run. This one's a fucking gnarly one, right? So 1.5 mile run, 50 bench press at body weight, 2k row, 50 back squat at body weight, 10k bike, 50 deadlift at body weight. Minging. So yeah, that sort of shit. Like I said, it probably needs its own hour to talk through my training program, but yeah, I'm pretty fucking full on with it at the moment. However, I find it's working and I feel like I'm getting fitter when I'm not twinging my calf. But you can see why I'm twinging my calf, because it's kind of going a little bit giddy at times. Can I help Luke Shaw get in shape? Dan says I'm pulling a groin, putting my boxes on at the moment. Brian says with Cunha and Mbeumo coming in, does it spell the end of Bruno? Can he still fit in? I think he's going. To be honest. Fitness Balance says, what a perfect username, by the way. Says, put a day off in there, dude, for fuck's sake. No. Ute says he eats loads of fucking chicken. The problem I'm having at the moment is I just tried to have 360 grams of chicken and some potatoes, and I couldn't finish the fucking chicken. I've absolutely ate my fill of chicken at the moment. Gareth says McTominay. No rest day is mental. No rest day isn't mental. Every day is entirely different, and because of that, I don't feel like I need a rest day. I feel better when I'm hitting the fucking gym hard. Jay says, I wish I had determination in the gym. You are getting ready to fight an Avenger. So what I am getting, Undiscovered Genius says, I've used Grinder. What I'm doing, or what I'm trying to do, so in the next year, I've got the Bullock Smithy Ultra, which is 56 miles. I'll be hiking that, but I need to hit 3 mile an hour for 20 hours. So that's more mental, but you do have to get, I have to sort the calf out. I have to make sure my feet are strong. You have to condition the body to do that. That's in September. In October, I'm potentially doing something with the army, which is weight bearing, 80-pound Bergen for 30 plus hours. That's with tactical stuff in between as well, so I'm treating it fucking seriously. I'm doing hybrid games. I've got another hybrid games in 2 weeks. There's a High Rocks. I would like to do the London High Rocks in December. I'm booked on for the Manchester Marathon in April, and I will be doing an Ironman next year. Hopefully summer. They don't seem to do them in like January and February, but I'll be doing an Ironman at some point next year, so I want to nail all of that. That's why I'm swimming, biking, and running. But yeah, I want to do all of those. I want to be able to get to the end of that thing and go, I am fit. Like, not fit for a 40-year-old, fit for a former fat fuck. Like, just fit. Full stop. Boom. Fit. And I think if I do all of those things, I think if you can do an Ironman, I think you're fit, aren't you, right? Craig says, do Ironman Wales. That's in like next month or something. No, I'm not there for that one. Maybe I'll do it next year if it comes back next year. But yeah. Would I agree it's better to have hungry young players than older players who have previously achieved? Yes and no. I think you need the experience. Why always chicken? What's wrong with beef? Honestly, I haven't got an answer for that. How am I monitoring health, heart, blood pressure, etc.? Whoop, mainly. Next week I'm going to Turkey and I'm doing a full football and medical thing. So I'm away for 4 or 5 days. I am doing everything. I'm having a fucking camera up my ass. They are checking every single organ, all my blood, all my bones, my eyes, my teeth. Fucking literally a full body service to find out. Well, in a sense, it's the video that I'll be making on the back end of it. So I'm working with Memorial Hospital in Turkey, and the video is, I got fit, but am I healthy? That's the sort of title of the video. Anonymous says, am I having a hair transplant? Do I look like I need a hair transplant? Of all the things that I've got going wrong with me, I would say, do you know what? Fucking hell. My hair's all right. I know that. I don't look 40. 41. Bit of grey popping in, which I'm not happy with, but it is what it is. I won't be dyeing it because it always looks purple and it looks shit, doesn't it? Step says, pass my RAF medical today, off for final officer assessment in a few weeks. Mate, officer shit in the RAF is hardcore, so good luck. Well done with that. Horsehoof says, Murph versus Goggins. Great challenge. Me and my pals did complete a Murph every 4 hours for 48 hours. Oh, mate, I was thinking about doing a Goggins 4x4 by 48. That, a Murph every 48 hours, every 4 hours for 48 hours is gangster, fair play. Fitness Balance says, need a video on that. Yep, we're getting a video from that. That's why we're doing it. They're flying me out. They're paying for it all, so, that's the game. Lenny says, fit versus health is always the thing I would be about. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. PVR says, come to Ironman Cascades. Where's that? October this year. October I can't do. I've already got an endurance event in October. I've got an endurance event in September. There is an Ironman. I could have done it in April. I think it's Valencia or Barcelona. That would have been brilliant. But I'm already doing something in April. So I need like fucking June or something next year, I reckon. United Community says, laid in Spain yesterday. I think that means landed, maybe. Cunha and Mbeumo done and Howson leaving. I'm never going home. Connor says, training keeps the demons away. It fucking does. Honestly, it does. Would I do High Rocks? Yeah, literally. I've done a hybrid games, which is like an off-brand High Rocks. It's basically the same thing. You do a 600-meter loop, and there's 9 stations. It took me an hour and 45. I did a doubles, but I fucking loved it. And the aim was just to finish it. Now I've got to set that one. I'm doing another one in Liverpool in 2 weeks. The aim is to get a better time. what spurred me to go on my fitness journey? I've always kind of worked out, but I wasn't right in my head. I wasn't right in my body. And yeah, I feel more like me at the moment than the fat guy that you've seen on YouTube for the last 10 years. That's not me. That was never me. And I think as I've just rediscovered and accepted who I am and my identity, I've kind of come back out with being more like me. And mental health wise, I'm a lot better. William says, yeah, let's wreck our progress of fixing the wage issue by signing Donnarumma. Yeah, it's not the game. Ari says, testosterone makes you enjoy difficult things. I'd heard that, to be honest. Yeah, I'd heard that fixing your testosterone actually makes you enjoy endurance stuff. And I think I would absolutely be fucking proof of that. Do I still have a rum? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not. I mean, I don't drink fucking every day. I don't even drink every week. I don't think. Maybe once every second or third week I might have a drink, but even then I'm not getting wasted, blackout drunk. I mean, I must get drunk every fucking few months, maybe tops. Yeah, I don't need it. It's certainly not I'm certainly like not an alcoholic. I enjoy a drink I like the taste for one. I mean, I've got a fucking really expensive bottle of rum here that I'm dying to have. Yeah. Got this here, which I'm absolutely dying to have. To that bad boy. But I just haven't found the right reason to crack it open yet. You know, I fucking love rum, but it doesn't control me. Jay says, I miss your drunk streams. Oh, they were fucking dodgy though, weren't they? Let's be honest. What video am I dropping tomorrow? The video coming out tomorrow is how to replace Bruno. Vinay says, being out in the sun, any good? Yeah, so one of the things that I'm purposely trying to do at the moment, I try and get up at about the same time every day, which is about 7. And I try and get out in the sunlight. It's an Andrew Huberman protocol to help reset your clock and shit like that, which is why I won't be going too much beyond 10:30 tonight. Getting sunlight in your eyes, good for loads of different hormones. One thing as well, I haven't spoken about this on a stream, but if I shown you the chart of my weight at the moment, it came down obviously from being like way overweight, and then it kind of bounced. It kind of bounced up and down, and I was going through this thing where it was kind of like I was either losing £10 in a week or gaining £10 in a week, and I couldn't quite get the balance right, and I wasn't trying to figure out why. So, I mean, I have more conversations with ChatGPT than it's probably fucking recommended to have. But I put into chat, look, here's what's happening with my weight. Here's my program. Because it's like the world's fucking information, isn't it? So ask it. So I put it in, and I was like, here's what's happening. What's going on? And the question I asked, I got the right answer, but I asked the wrong question. So the question I asked was, is running, because I've started doing running daily rather than the Stairmaster. When I lost all the weight, I was doing the Stairmaster. And I would get up, I'd go to the gym, I'd do my Stairmaster, I'd do my weights, then I'd have lunch, then I'd go to work, blah, 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 right? That's how I would do it. And I was technically fasting in the morning, but I wasn't thinking about fasting in the morning. I just wasn't eating. I was just going to the gym and doing my thing. So then I put it in and went, here's what I'm doing. Is switching from the Stairmaster to running is because running's a bit more intensive and maybe like harder than the Stairmaster. Even if it's like 20, 30 minutes, it's the same. Is that causing me to want a snack? Because I was snacking. Like when I was losing all the weight, I didn't want a snack, and I couldn't work out why. So come December, when I got to like 190 pound, I started having porridge in the morning because I was feeling a little bit lightheaded and stuff, and I was like, right, I need to up my calories a little bit. So I was having porridge and I was having a protein shake. So I was having a bit more calories, but those bit more calories, I was putting weight on. And I was like, I don't understand where the changing is coming. And what chat said to me was like, oh no, you didn't. One of the reasons that you was losing the weight wasn't just the total calorie number. And one of the reasons that you found it easier to adhere to, because I found myself fucking wanting to eat Twixes and Hobnobs again, like the last few months. And I was confused as to why. And it said, no, it's nothing to do with the running. The running being harder than Stairmaster isn't what's happening. What's happening is you're having porridge in the morning, which is spiking your insulin, which means that your hormones are getting thrown out of whack, which means come 3, 4 in the afternoon, you are craving sugar or chocolate or Twix. And I went, fuck, okay. So then I went, right, well, if I go back to fasting in the morning and I do my walk, so I'm doing my walk with a weighted vest on at the moment, and I now don't eat till lunch. Am I like regulation of my hormones, is that going to be a thing? And oh my God, it's like fucking magic. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, I am not hungry. I am not craving food. It gets to about 1 o'clock and I go, oh shit, I need to eat. Versus like, if I have porridge in the morning, I'm kind of fucking chasing the dragon all day. Like, it should not be this fucking straightforward and simple. Now, I'm not saying that'd work for everyone. I'm just saying, for me, it fucking worked. And I found that really fucking easy to adhere to. It's fucking mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad. But I find it incredibly fucking straightforward, incredibly easy, and incredibly easy to stick to. And that's all that matters, I guess, isn't it? Yeah. Bonkers. Lewis says, a lot of what you said about being you and finding you really resonates. It takes a long time to figure out who you are. I don't expect anyone in their teens to know. And even in your 20s, and maybe not even in your 30s, it takes a fucking long time to know what you're about, I guess. But yeah. Rune says, that's 100% what has worked best for me too. Skipping breakfast and mainly eating from 12 till 6 just increases my energy levels and reduces my hunger. Do you know what fucks everyone up? Or at least what fucked me up, right? I don't know if your mum's the same as mine. My mum's always like, you got to have breakfast, most important meal of the fucking day. And when you're in the army, they force you to have breakfast. You got a big tab on, you've got to get your fucking energy in and blah, 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 blah. You've got to do all that sort of stuff. Ghrelin, yes, it's that. So without going into the nerdy parts of it, but like essentially keeping your fucking hormones in check until lunchtime, and then by the time you have them, you have clean, whole food. You're just not fucking craving chocolate. It's insane how it works, but it works. But yeah, like in the army, they're forcing you to have a fucking heavy breakfast because you're about to go and expend a shitload of calories. But that doesn't necessarily work for everyday kind of people. Madness, man. Just No says, do I say thank you to ChatGPT so they spare you when AI takes over in 10 years? It's a bit mad, isn't it? Because it is absolutely taking over. George says, get beasted for not eating brekkie. It's not even an option. You go in and you're fucking eating it and you're having a full English and you're having toast and you're having porridge. I remember just absolutely fucking shoveling it in my face. Home says, no one gives a shit about your fitness talk about United. I mean, granted, it's a United stream tonight. However, there was literally a super chat that asked me to talk about it and then follow-up questions. So, sorry. Lolly says, the older I get, the less I'm eating, I find. Yeah, I generally find that. I mean, today I had a bowl of cereal until fucking couple of hours ago, I guess. Tyler says, I'm 41 and it took until I was in my 30s to start figuring out that I need to figure me out. Pretty good now, but I do, actually. Even though that's pretty vague, I think I do. Adam says, where I roam, there's no time for snacks. 3 round big meals. Tyrone says, I can have just 1 meal a day. I don't eat as much. That's interesting. What do I do about caffeine? I fuck it up. I mean, you can kind of see on the windowsill behind me there, I've got these 4 tubs waiting to get fucked up there of Optimize, and I've always got a fucking bottle in my hand. One here. Another one here. There's a fucking another one up here. Like, I am all over these constantly. Mark Coughlin says, do I think the profile of striker we get may change with Cunha and Mbeumo, like Firmino and Salah? Yes, and maybe it's already Xerxes. I still think even if it is Xerxes, we still need another one though. Rajdeep says, finally excited to see United at the pre-season in Atlanta. Good shout. Sotiri says, video idea, whiteboard, philosophy, squad by position, academy graduates next 3 years, realistic rebuild like your Dortmund finds year by year plan. Yeah, we could have a look at that one. Speak123 says, got my brown belt earlier in Jits. Fantastic. Mate, that's a fucking serious achievement, innit? I know getting your purple means that you didn't quit like every other fucking blue belt does. But yeah, once you get through purple and you hit brown, I mean, you know, the train for your black belt is in the station, mate. You just got to keep fucking showing up and it'll be yours one day. I presume. Stephen Harris says, it took me till 45 to work out that I'm a legend. Adam says, Kinder and Mbeumo. Tyrone says, I think a trio of Xerxes and Mbeumo and Cunha will be fire. What a shame Fernandes doesn't stay when it happens, though. His transfer fee might be the catalyst for all of this, to be honest. Can I talk about 4-4-2, please, Steve? What would you like me to talk about with 4-4-2? What is this dog arsehole doing? What are you doing? What would you like me to talk about in terms of 4-4-2? What's my VO2 max? I don't think I'm going to find that out at the moment. My Garmin is a liar, and it reckons it's 34, which is like I should be wheezing coming upstairs if it's 34. My Whoop reckons it's 50. I'm not sure either of them are accurate, to be honest with you. Ari says, a striker, a midfielder, and a goaler, we will get top 5. I'm not sure about top 5. I still think we're on for top 8, but I don't know where. I mean, you never know. It could be whatever. Jack Champ says, where do I think Bruno and Menu fit in? I don't know if they do. Menu could stick around, but I wouldn't be surprised to see both. Adam says, what is VO2 max? So VO2 max, I'm going to fuck this up. Sorry, I'm not a fucking scientist, obviously. But it's basically the amount of oxygen that your body's able to process. The more oxygen you can process, obviously, the stronger your heart and lungs and respiratory system is, meaning that you can get that into your muscles quicker to be able to oxygenate your blood and work. Something along those lines. The higher the VO2 max, the technically fitter you are. I think. That more or less is the grand scheme of things. I haven't had mine tested. My mate and his missus have literally just... and there's resting heart rate too, yeah. My resting heart rate's not too bad at the moment. It's in the low 50s. I have had it into the 40s, but not for a bit. Yeah, my mate and his missus have just been doing something with the University of Manchester where they've had theirs tested. I don't know what she got, but he got 54, which is pretty good. Were we in the race for Frimpong? Yes, we were. Whether or not we came to anything concrete, we were in the mix for it, yeah. Do I still drink coffee? I've never drank coffee. Where's the Ornstein Romano confirmation? They've both tweeted it. What's my step count per day on average? I was going to say 16,000, but I just want to make sure. Today it's been 16,000. My average for the last month has been 13.5. I've had a couple of days of doing fuck all there, though. Wednesday? What did I do Wednesday? This is Wednesday, I only had 6,000. Tuesday was 23,000. Wednesday was 6. Was I ill? I think I was ill. Thursday, 20,000. Yeah. It's about 16,000 usually. You says those little Turkish coffee shops with 10 extra caffeine of a normal cafe. Why am I not drinking coffee? Don't like the taste. Am I going to the game in New York? Yeah, I'm doing the whole tour. Buy a striker who can score 20, 30 goals a season and a keeper who knows how to use his hands. Did I know this? Bruno is now recording a farewell video. He also wants United to do all their business now with the budget. Line up Gyökeres and Goncalves, done deals when Bruno leaves. Could happen, mate. Matty says, dropped 6 stones since November. Good fucking drills. Cut all the shit out, but pissing constantly due to all the water. Right. Yeah, same. I can't believe how much. I'm basically like 10 months into this fucking sort of journey here now, where I've fucked the Red Bull off and I'm drinking more water. I'm still getting up in the middle of the night to piss. There's no two ways around it. I have to do it. Lolly says, I have coffee in my sugar. What do I make of Sekou Kone? I know the opposition we played postseason was poor, but I like what I saw. I like him, yeah. He's obviously raw and he's obviously young, but I do like him. I think he's got half a chance. Jack says, would I sell Martinez if an offer went in? Ooh. Not so much. Why am I drinking so much? 'Cause I fucking like the taste. There's water in it. Do I get dandruffed in my beard? No, I don't think so. Mazraoui in midfield. Thoughts? I don't mind the idea, to be honest. Have we got a date for the paddock trials? 21st of June, I believe it's been booked in. How did I find stopping drinking Red Bull? I stopped cold turkey, and it's been 1,000,000% easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really hard. What player profiles do I look for in midfield? So what I did look for, and I ended up not really finding. I wanted bigger boys. I only found one that was on the bigger side. Everyone else was a bit on the smaller side. I want press resistance. I want the ability to play through midfield. And what I came up with was 3 totally different profiles of midfielder. Did I have a headache quitting Red Bull? No, I didn't. What's my opinion on sugar-free Red Bull? To me, it tasted like it had washing up liquid in it. I never liked it. If Bruno goes, Mount, Cunha, or Ahmad could replace. See, they're all different profile of players. Would I go in for Tyler Diblin? Not at the price that's been quoted. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good prospect. I think he could easily become something decent, but I don't think United are in a position to go for a prospect at the moment. I think we have to go for dead certs. Am I a fussy eater? I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. Like, you'll never see me eating egg. I'm not really a big fan of fish outside of like real basic shit like tuna. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm fussy. Maybe I am, I don't know. Any word on Rooney Bardagli? I know he had a bad injury, but a serious prospect for that. He was a serious prospect. Yeah, I don't think signing someone on a bad injury is a good idea, though. So I probably wouldn't do that. I don't think. Who's a similar creative midfielder to Bruno I'd look to as a replacement? I wouldn't. Like I said, I would go with a total. United need different profiles of players. Bruno's kind of shoehorned in to play where he plays, and I don't think that's the move. Silence is deafening. Is that in relation to Bruno? It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah, I think that he's probably going, you know. United says, you would go to an Italian restaurant and order a burger defo. I really fucking wouldn't. Why would you go to somewhere that does something so well and order something that they probably don't do? It's like people who go to the fucking curry house and order an omelette. I hope that there's things like that on menus in places just to... Oh yeah, actually, mate, your table's around the back here near the fucking bins. How much can we squeeze Saudi for? More than they've offered, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, right, I'm going to wrap it up there. We did not hit the numbers in terms of the likes that I wanted to get. We had a valiant effort. But it's been a fun chat. I think I'm scheduled to do another live on Friday. I wasn't scheduled for this one. I did one this morning. But breaking news requires breaking reactions. I'm going to be busy for a few days in London. There might be some stuff comes out on socials. Not in a negative sense, in a really fucking cool sense. But I don't know when stuff's getting posted. Either way, I can't fucking wait. I'm going to have an awesome week. and hanging out with some real fucking cool people. Meeting a dude that I've never met before, never worked before with. But you guys will all be seeing it quite soon. Not in the football realm, so don't try and guess that what's happening. But really, really fucking cool, and I can't wait. But yeah, early start for me in the morning. Take it easy. United have started this fucking pre-season at least, and post-season like we mean it. If this carries on, we'll be in a good spot come pre-season, which is only a good thing. But either way, take it easy. And let's just enjoy the rest of this window, because it's clearly going to be a good one, isn't it? Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.